So this snow has been falling every night. I mean, this morning, 1 a.m. It was falling every night. I came to take refuge in the train, and then they created a scene. As soon as the train got to the South Ferry around 1 a.m., everybody out. Then I found out of saying, and it was insulting everybody. People were laughing. I was like, it was just making. The police was telling the whole to leave the train station. I'm like, how am I going to survive out here in the snowfall? They told the stores to stop selling me hand warmers, and they always try to get me jammed up in a snowfall or something. And this Eric Adams also, he didn't want the all stops up staff, because when they're harassing me like that, sometimes they don't want to document it. And stores like the Wayne and CVS won't sell me hand warmers, and this place always try to kick me out in the snowstorm. So like they're setting me up to die in a snowstorm. Why would you be kicking out homeless early this morning, February 13, 2024, at 1 a.m. when there's a heavy snow outside and my tires is not doing well? My tire is messed up. My tire is messed up. So I won't be able to move in the snowfall. And it was setting me up for abuse this morning. And this has been investigated by CCRB. This is just too much. My mother experienced a felony murder, in which the NYPD kicked us out of our home in 2010 from a different apartment. Even though there was no emergency need for them to do that, and they had to give us some notice, at least like 30 days notice to kick us out. They didn't give us a due process right. They kicked us out, lied that we were in danger, and they threw us out, which is a felony when you lie on official record. And my mother wanted to go to Israel to go have she had a heart problem. She wanted to go to Israel to go do surgery. And she told the court, immediately they kicked us out, she informed the court about it. Due to the NYPD kicking us out in 2010, she can't go to Israel anymore to do her surgery because her passport and everything, has been locked up. And she was trying to get the court to intervene to stop the action of the NYPD, and the court wasn't able to help us then. Now, in 2016, our daughter took advantage of that when my mother was in the hospital, and she was telling the doctors that she wanted to go to Israel to have her heart surgery done. Our daughters decided to, instead of helping out with money to travel to Israel, they told the hospital to lock her up in the psych ward instead. So to have shame to the fire, and my mother said our daughters were into insurance fraud scheme, so they were just trying to escalate the situation and kill my mother. Because our daughters was taken out, even though my mother told the court since 2010 that she wanted to travel to Israel to have a heart surgery, and the NYPD is impeding her by locking up our passport and throwing us out of our home. And our daughters had money. They were a daughter like Flora, Flora and Bolani. These are the daughters that are involved in killing her. The daughters, like Flora was going to Mexico with the Flora kids to go on shopping spree, going to Disney World, and the other one, Bolanle, it was my mother thought he was on drugs. So they were all living expensive lifestyle. Even my mother needed money to go to Israel to have heart surgery, because my mother didn't want to have heart surgery done in the U.S. As protest, but everyone that was helping me was dead, and my mother much for every governor who was helping us with the court papers against the NYPD, and the NYPD and the court told me was supposed to do my court papers against the NYPD for taking our home, for taking my mother's basement apartment. And the NYPD went and choked him dead weeks later. So in protest of that, my mother much for every governor, and because of her religious belief, she wanted to go to Israel to pray and have heart surgery done in Israel. So our daughters decided to set her up. They said the hospital should lock her up in the psych ward. She shouldn't be allowed to go to Israel to have her surgery done, which is against the law. This is a hate type stuff. And I just were only interested in making money out of insurance, life insurance policy. They wanted to make my mother angry and abuse her. And my mother died angry because, she didn't understand why she was being locked up in the psych ward. Because she wanted to go to Israel to have her surgery done. And she had already told the court that since 2010. So our daughters escalated the situation, and I think they made profit out of it, because my mother was saying they were contacting people, our daughters, Bolali Flora, were contacting people in Nigeria that were into fraud, and those people also tried to rob my mother in the 1980s when my mother won a lawsuit here in the U.S. and she put the money at the Hamilton Savings Bank, and some of those people told her to come to Nigeria with that money, but my mother didn't take that money to Nigeria. She went to Nigeria without that money. And at the airport, the Nigerian government thugs, the US and the Nigerian immigration thugs were asking us, why didn't you bring the money? Somebody told us that you want money in the US, we're going to bring it to Nigeria at the Lagos airport. And even the US banned the Lagos airport because there was a lot of Americans being duped there. For a long time after that, nobody could come to America from Nigeria. They had to go to another country. Because, even the CBS did, and I've contacted the Nigerian embassy, that please, my mother's daughter's got killed, could you help me? And they refused to help me. But they only help white Americans that are victim of fraud. I guess they're only afraid of white Americans. I told them, the NYPD killed my friend Eric Garner, and, there's something called felony murder. They threw me and my mother out of our home under false pretenses that we weren't safe, even though we were safe. And they didn't give us a due process right of 30 days notice. And due to that abuse, my mother didn't want to have a surgery done in the US. She wanted to have it done in Israel. And the NYPD locked us out of our home and our passport and everything. She couldn't have access to our travel documents. And which later led to the, had not been able to have the surgery done in Israel at all. And our daughter's telling the Bellevue hospital to lock her up in a psych ward because she wants to go to Israel to have a surgery done, which is nonsense entirely. You don't tell someone to, So the NYPD, by abusing my mother, throwing us out of our home, the abuse led to my mother being killed by her daughters. So it's called felony murder. Because when you lie as a government agent to throw people out of their home, we weren't having an emergency. They could have given us 30 days notice to leave our home. And when you lie as a government agent, as a police officer or as a as a business department, to lie to throw somebody out of their home, they said our apartment was a cellar. It was a basement, it wasn't a cellar. So they made up so many lies to throw us out of our home to create a fake emergency. A cellar is an underground apartment. Our apartment was a basement. You just walk 2 steps from the sidewalk and get into the apartment. That's not it. A cellar is something that's completely underground. Our apartment, you just walk 2 steps from the sidewalk and you come into our apartment. You open the door to our apartment. So that was a basement. It was, it was more like a 4th floor basement type apartment. So and then NYPD lied, and the business department joined them in line. And as a result of the abuse throwing us out, my mother couldn't get her surgery done, and her daughters got her locked up in the psych ward for trying to go to Israel to have her surgery done. And now my mother is dead. That's felony murder. The NYPD should charge with felony murder. They killed my friend Eric Garner as well. So the NYPD 2 murders on their watch, and no, I'm not allowed to go to court. And now, they're telling black Americans to attack me. Anytime I try to use the bathroom at the Washington Market Park, there's like 3 black Americans that will be taunting me. I don't know if they want to choke me to death. And somebody was making fun, touching their nail and laughing yesterday and pointing to evidence. I also got nailed by the NYPD in 2019. So they've been making an attempt to kill me so I wouldn't be able to get justice for my late mother and Eric Garner. So this is very serious. So I'm just by myself. I'm alone in this, like Martin Luther King said, in its darkest hour, when his so-called friends are quiet. So that's not cool. It said in its darkest hour, it's not the voice of the enemy that scares them, but the silence of his friends. Because silence is complicity. So you have a lot of these human rights activists, but when you really need their help, you're all alone. It's like they're doing it for clout. So the NYPD is getting away with 2 murders, Eric Garner, my mother, and the evidence is slam dunk evidence. My mother was contacted in the court that she wanted to go to Israel, and the NYPD locked her out of her home. Her passport, a U.S. passport is locked up in her home. So it was slam dunk evidence. And the city of New York won't prosecute this NYPD for killing my mother. And we opened Eric Garner's case, and I'm all alone. All these so-called activists, none of them, so there's a terrible snowfall happening right now, and the NYPD was trying to throw me out on the street in this snowfall. Knowing we were pulling out the trap on the street, and stores like CVS and the way they started hiding hand warmers are by. They tell me they no longer sell hand warmers. The weather is warm. I'm like, it's not summer yet, it's still snow. So CVS put together an investigation. The way we need to run an investigation, I don't have a hand warmer right now. And the NYPD is trying to throw me out of the train into the snow. And so I could get jammed up, my tires also missing, so I won't be able to pull myself in the snow. So this is what is going on. All the French distractions like that. I don't know what I'm gonna tell you. Yeah, anytime I'm recording, I'm still someone is telling me. Please leave my dog alone. You know, I don't know the voice I put on my recordings. Anytime I'm recording, putting evidence, they have this undercover type agent that will start bothering me. You know, somebody just came by to the one in my dad. Yeah, that's to distract me from my, you know, saying what I need to say. So, you know, they have they call it neighborhood safety team, which is they are the former anti-crime unit. They are notorious NYPD undercover agents. They were used to kill Eric Garner, kill Sean Bell. So, you know, they planned them all around to be distracting you, you know. So when one person just came to say they want my back, I don't know if that's a threat. Because sometimes they steal my property when I'm not looking. I try to tie everything down, you know. I don't know what that person came to distract me. So now my train of thought is lost. But like the late Martin Luther King said, he said, in his darkest hour, is not so afraid of the loud voice of the enemy, but the silence of his so-called friend. So where are all these human rights activists? I post on Twitter, Black Lives Matter, Trans Lives Matter, I'm a Nigerian transsexual, you know, and after I post my video, I don't get nothing back, feedback on how they can help me get justice in court, nothing. I'll be all alone. But I'm not alone, you know, I know God is with me, you know. There's no human soul, whether Eric Garner, my mother, should be killed and they'll be silenced when there's evidence to prosecute NYPD for murder. So shame on you, world. And if I have to continue talking about this alone, I'll continue talking about it alone. But shame on you, all you fake activists. Shame on you. That's what I mean by I don't mean shame on you, the entire world. You know, because some of you don't really know what's going on. But all you fake activists that leave people alone because you can't get your clout or you want everything to be about you. You want to take a lead role. And you want to support an immigrant like me. You know, you think it's a competition for who's going to be more popular. You know, so this is what I mean, shame on you, fake activists. I don't mean shame on you, the entire world. I have nothing against the entire world. So this is what is going on.